Little tune that me and Maddie Hauser have been working on. I've had this idea for a long time. That's not doing it a lot of justice, but you get the idea. Man, there's so much going on. I did teach a cool lesson yesterday from a nice kid from Australia. Did a 2-hour lesson with him, and that was pretty fun. A lot of these kids come over, they got a budget. They come over to the United States from like Australia and Sweden and all these different places. And they hit New York, Nashville, Austin, New Orleans, Memphis. And they come do like a month-long hang. They take lessons from a bunch of people, And I do that all the time. It's pretty fun. Did a cool interview this morning for about 4 hours, and that was only half of it. We've got more to do for some docu-series that's happening with a bunch of guitar players. I can't really talk too much about it. As you can see, we had to put gaff tape over the hat, so I thought I'd leave that on there just to be funny. But pretty cool. Got into some deep stuff, man. It was all right there, man. I let it rip. I just talked about all kinds of stuff and just bared everything, So there's that. Thanks for the comments. If you haven't seen the Backstage Billy Gibbons video, check that out. Thanks for the comments on that. That was just another night in Nashville, man. Seeing the McCurrys, 3 generations of McCurrys, Del McCurry, Rob and Ronnie, the band, and then their sons playing the guitars with them on the Opry stage. It was amazing with Mike Flanagan. Of course, not taking credit, but I did hook Mike up with the McCurrys, and then that led to Gibbons going out there and sitting in with the McCurrys, bluegrass at the Opry. Special guest Gibbons is up there playing some electric guitar with the McCurrys. Pretty awesome. I just went, it's just it just never stops around here, man. I had to take a little nap earlier just because it was one of those days where it was just full on. The whole week's been like that, really. I'm not bragging or complaining. It's just fun stuff. One thing I've been focusing on with a lot of students lately is the hand position and fingering of things like that. You just saw me do this. I'd never do that in real life. I would do that, right? Not this. It's uncomfortable. It's too big of a stretch. So that's where the cage system comes in a lot too. It's a lot about the hand position. You're setting yourself up to make these things easier on yourself and to be able to get around on the guitar. I wanted to tell you guys, and I might try to play this tune again. Maddie was playing rhythm guitar for me earlier when we were hashing this out at the studio. Just this little song idea for fun before the interview started. But man, the adventure certainly continues. I'll tell you that. I'm starting to get a little tired on this Friday evening, and there's not a whole lot of music going on tonight, so I might just hang in the house. I've been focusing on my anti-inflammatory diet, which I've been eating really clean, feeling good, no booze. I've been drinking a lot of water, electrolytes. Man, just focusing on eating really good. Fruits, vegetables, some salmon, and chicken. I can do chicken pretty well. I got a good recipe to where it doesn't ever dry out. It stays nice and moist, and I put a little barbecue sauce on there. I had a buddy send me a bunch of great barbecue sauce from Kansas City, and I'll put a little bit of that on there just for so it's not super boring. And then, man, just getting some good vegetables. I love beets and good heirloom tomatoes we've had, and avocado, and I'm not a big green pepper fan, but other than that, I'm up for all the vegetables. And so, man, it feels good, you know, and you feel good. You don't feel sluggish and weighed down after you do when you get done eating a bunch of lasagna and pizza and burgers and stuff, which, hey, I love that, but we can't keep doing it forever. I want to tell you guys about the Masters of the Telecaster clinic coming up in September in New York. It's in the Catskills, about 2.5 hours from New York City. I did it last year, as you guys know. And man, these guys, it is another banger of a workshop. I mean, it's an experience. It's incredible. The people that are there are amazing. The food's fantastic. The location is amazing. It's beautiful. The cabins are incredible. The whole thing is top notch. The main room where they do all the performances and most of the classes, because they have satellite cabins and different venues all over the grounds, but the main building it's astounding, this space. I cannot wait to go back. So it's called the Masters of the Telecaster, brought to you by the Music Masters Collective. Monday, September 29th through Friday, October the 3rd. Full Moon Resort in Big Indian, New York. That's the Catskills, 2.5 hours from New York City. Artists this year: John Jorgensen, Red Volkart, Larry Campbell, G.E. Smith, Johnny Highland, John Harrington, Jim Weeder, Greg Koch, Jim Campolongo, Cindy Cash Dollar, Carolyn Wonderland, Marvin Sewell, and Joel Harrison is one of the organizers, and he'll be there too, and more. Registration is now open. I'll put the link at the top of the comments section below, or the description rather below. But guys, come join us. I had a blast last year, and I don't talk passionately about things that I'm not passionate about. So, you know, I'm not involved in any bullshit. And so, these clinics and stuff that I do now, they're dialed in, because I don't want to go do stuff that's not. And so, I'm lucky to be a part of this. I'm glad they asked me back. Some of my favorite guitar players on the planet are going to be there. I know these guys. They're great guys. They're fun to hang out with. It was so cool getting to bond with G.E. Smith last year, and some guys that I haven't really hung with a whole lot. Larry Campbell, who is just, you know, these guys are amazing. And so Red Volkart, oh my God. Who doesn't want to hang out with Red Volkart? And it's just going to be really cool. Greg Koch, man, what a monster player and an awesome guy. So let me talk to you a little bit about this song that came together today with Maddie over at the studio, just for fun. You know, this little lick idea. It's got a little Hawaiian aspect to it, right? This kind of like, you know, E6. Right, that's a cool thing. So that's an E6. So Hawaiian, right? Pretty cool stuff. That's a F sharp minor to F, back to E, B7, E. One to 5, right? B7 to E. The bridge, or the B part rather. 6, 2, F7, B. I love that turnaround. That's one of my favorite things on the planet. All those options, right? So then the bridge, 3 dominant 7. A minor 6. Pretty cool. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, this is the first part. With the high E on the melody, right? Second time, call and response. The next time, the 5 on that part, because you don't want it to be exactly the same both times. Again, the B part, 6 dominant 7. Maybe not the 13. I like this better. Okay, so if somebody else was playing this, I would go. Let's see. Let's see. So. Something like that. All this stuff. I really like that melody, and I hope you guys can see this coming together. But it's that kind of vibe, man. You gotta. I told this kid yesterday, I was like, man, you gotta put your whole self into what you're playing. And I'm not talking about what I'm doing right now. You know, I'm trying to figure out this tune and play it, you know, for you by myself, which would be great to have a rhythm guitar player here. But, you know, if it's that vibe. be on an island with a drink in your hand, walking with a chick down the beach, looking at a catamaran and the sunset. You know, I mean, that's kind of like, you gotta, like Uncle Larry says, you gotta put yourself in the lyric of the song or in the story. You gotta play the part in the movie that's going down with the music. So if it's if it's Gut Bucket Blues, man, you gotta feel it. You gotta put yourself there. Those are the guys that you want to keep listening to, because they are, maybe it is being a little eccentric or a little oddball, but that over exaggeration and over, really expressing yourself and really going all in. I mean, you got to go all in to get the feeling out of this stuff, And so I'm just sharing a couple Friday evening thoughts with you. I'm pretty tired, man. We got deep into this discussion earlier, man. These guys asked a bunch of questions, and when I do an interview, man, I go all in. I boxing gloves are off, man. I go into all the stuff, and it's a lot, but it's a lot of fun, and I think people like that, I'm not really afraid to talk about stuff that real life shit, So hope you guys are enjoying this stuff. The thing with Billy Gibbons the other night was just incredible. I can't tell you. I talked to him for a minute on the phone just a minute ago, and I can't express in words how amazing that guy is, man. I mean, they really broke the mold when they made that guy. He's a one of a kind, and yeah, he looks cool and all that, but he's 10,000 times cooler as a human being. I mean, I've never seen anybody so cool, calm, and collected as that guy, taking his time with every single human being to talk to him, to take a photo. We're at the Grand Ole Opry, and he's backstage and in his dressing room, and he was there before us. Me and young Tom went out and hung out with those guys, and you walk into the dressing room, and Gibbons is in his pajamas, and he's got the Opry's turned down, and he's got Jimmy Reed playing on his little speaker. He's listening to the blues. He goes, "Oh yeah, man, Jimmy Reed, you gotta have Jimmy Reed." And so he's listening to Jimmy Reed, and he's setting up his dressing room with all his stuff, and he's got his hat and sunglasses, and the clothes are all laid out, and guitars, everything, and man, he's just a force, man. The way that guy operates is just unbelievable. It is so inspiring, and he truly does change your life. I mean, he's just one of those cats, man. It's just unbelievable. And so we talked about him a bunch today, talked about meeting Jeff Beck, and talked about meeting Van Morrison, and talked about working with all these guys in Nashville, and the crazy wild ride it's been since I moved here 25 years ago. And man, it's just, it keeps getting better. And we're working on a lot of stuff. I had some great conversations today about some projects coming up that we're going to work on next year. And I'm not stopping anytime soon, man. We're gonna keep doing this stuff and dialing it in until somebody tells us we have to stop. And so, thanks so much for all your support. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Many people that watch the channel haven't subscribed. I seem to be in some sort of a little bit of a lull right now, which Uncle Larry said it happened to him too. He goes, "Man, once I hit 100,000 followers," he goes, "things kind of really slowed down." And who knows what kind of algorithm bullshit that probably is or whatever, but maybe it's just because I don't try harder, and and I don't have a slick production with a lot of arrows facing down, and I'm not trying to sell you some slick bullshit, right? So we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it real. The message is clear. Use your ears, learn the fundamentals of the guitar, and try to make music. It's pretty much that simple. The rest will take care of itself. But anyway, guys, there's a little bit of the Friday evening news hour here. GT telecasting to you on, not telecasting, but we're Martin parloring. People ask about this guitar all the time. It's a custom shop Martin slot head parlor that I bought from George Gruen for about $4,000. Brand new, these are about $8,000. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's got the fancy koa binding. It's got the fancy, I don't know what that is, Madagascar or something or other. It's got the fancy Sitka spruce top or something. I don't know what it is. But it's all the bells and whistles. It's the fancy doodah Martin. But man, I just like this guitar. It's so comfortable to. Guys, hey, thanks a bunch. We'll see you real soon, probably this weekend. And have a great one. Stay cool. And we'll see you soon. All right, guys. Cheers.